Forget app overload. Hybrid work was supposed to free you, but now it's a boundary blender. Welcome to the Mr. Productivity Podcast. I'm Mark Struczewski, your guide to getting stuff done. Before we dive into today's hybrid work hacks for 2025 and beyond, I want to invite you to grab my free daily newsletter, The Productive Life, at MrProductivity.com. You have to spell out Mr. M-I-S-T-E-R, MrProductivity.com. You'll get quick tips to boost your efficiency every day. That's MrProductivity.com. And by the way, just signing up for the Productive Life newsletter is not going to magically make you more productive. You actually have to read the newsletters and implement what I teach you. Now, here's a key thing. You doing this puts you in the top 10%, maybe the top 5%, maybe the top 2% of productive people in the world. They're not complicated newsletters to read and understand, but the work is on you, my friend. So let's talk about hybrid work. What is hybrid work? It's part office and part home. Now, this was a dream back in 2020, 2021, 2022, but fast forward to 2025, and it is a mess for so many, maybe even you. Blurred lines, always on tech, and burnout are creeping in. I've lived this. I drive for Uber Monday through Saturday in the mornings, and then I grow Mr. Productivity in the afternoon. That's why this episode is so personal to me. In the episode, we're going to be tackling hybrid work both in 2025 and beyond. We're going to teach you boundaries that actually stick. No fluff. I don't deal with fluff. Just fixes to help you reclaim your focus. So, you ready? All right, let's bounce into it. First, let's face a stark reality. Hybrid work isn't working for everyone in 2025. Why? Well, we have tools like Slack and Zoom and countless others that keep us tethered 24/7, and constant connectivity blurs the lines. We've all experienced it. Your inbox is exploding with those quick check-ins while you're busy prepping for a presentation or some other project. Maybe you're putting on a conference. Sound familiar? It's not the workload. It's the lack of boundaries. And here's the brutal truth. Straight between your eyes, straight between your ears reality. Hybrid workers feel overextended because they never clock out. That was me post 2005 firing, grinding solo with no off switch. But here's the shift. Boundaries aren't walls, they're lifelines. Let me share with you a running joke in my house. I want you to picture a wall that's 30 feet thick, reinforced with rebar. It's 300 feet tall. On top of the wall, I have snipers and I have a Star Wars missile defense system. Then I have it surrounded by a moat of poison alligators. I know poison alligators may not be a thing, but let's just go with it. My point is I have very strong boundaries. One example, I'm 60 years young. If you ask me, hey, Mark, can you help me move? Nope. I don't even have to think about it because I have boundaries. Most people either don't have any boundaries or they have very weak boundaries. And that's why I want to share with you these 3 rules that if you implement them, you are going to have stronger boundaries. Strong! Oh! Rule number 1, schedule by energy, not just hours. Schedule by energy, not just hours. When are you able to do your best work? Is it in the morning? Is it late morning? Is it early afternoon? Are you a night owl? Figure out when is your optimal time to do work. This is very important. You don't want to do your most important work when you are tired, when you are mentally exhausted. So you need to determine, and you probably already know this, but you need to determine when are you at your best. Now, I am a morning person. I love getting up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. Unfortunately, at this season of my life, I have to drive for Uber from 5:30 in the morning to about 10 in the morning. It's just a season, but it's what I have to do to provide for my family. So what I do is I work on Mr. Productivity in the afternoon. I drive for Uber in the morning, and I work on Mr. Productivity in the afternoon. Now, is that ideal? Of course not. But I know when my ideal time to work is. It's really important that you know when you are at your peak, and then you do your most important things when you are at your peak, if you can. Now, you may have another situation. Perhaps you have little kids. You have to get them off to school. You take your situation, you take what I'm sharing with you on the show today, and you figure out, how can I make this work so I am doing my most important work when I'm in my prime? And if you can't do it right now, then do the very best you can, and then revisit it maybe every month or two. Number 2, set tech guardrails. Are you always on your phone? Be honest. Are you on your phone right now? Well, you may be because you're listening to the podcast. But while you're listening to this podcast, are you scrolling Instagram and TikTok and X and LinkedIn and YouTube? Not all at the same time, of course. Are you texting your friend? Are you checking email? You're not fully present. You need to have tech guidelines. Let me ask you this. When you sit down and watch a television show or a movie with your family or friends, are you on your phone, or can you watch a whole feature film or a whole sitcom or a whole drama show without looking at your phone once? Can you? A lot of people can't. A lot of people bring their phones everywhere with them. Everybody, we laugh about this, but everybody brings their phone to the bathroom. What did we do back in the 60s and 70s and 80s when I was growing up? We didn't have cell phones, so you couldn't bring what didn't exist into the bathroom with you. But I want you to ask yourself, do you have any tech guidelines? Yeah, I don't bring my phone into the shower, and I don't use my phone when I'm sound asleep. Okay, well, hopefully you're not using your phone when you're driving, but I want you to consider tech boundaries. If you have people you want to text, for example, and you have an iPhone, the new iMessage on iOS has this thing called scheduled delivery. So if it's not urgent, and let's face it, most times when you're texting somebody, it's not urgent. If it's 7:30 at night, why don't you schedule that message for the next day when they're awake and you're awake? See, there's little hacks you can do, but set tech guidelines. Dinner time, no tech, no phones, no TV. Maybe you have the music going on in the background, soft music as you're having a family dinner. But you need to have tech guardrails. I'm not going to tell you what those should be, but you know which ones will work for you. And don't start by setting up 14 tech guardrails. Start with 1 or 2, and then begin to add a 3rd and a 4th. And you'll understand how relaxing and how safe it is not to have your tech always with you. And finally, number 3, create a shutdown ritual. Don't go, and then go to sleep, because you're probably not sleeping really well. So here's my shutdown routine. I stop eating around 6 p.m., and then I will just watch what I call mindless television. I don't have to pay attention to the plot. I will just sit there. My brain can pretty much disconnect, and I can just relax. It's part of my shutdown routine. Around 8 o'clock, I go screens off. No more phones, no more laptop. I go into my bedroom. I have a sleep playlist on Spotify I listen to. I will journal in my Moleskine pocket journal notebook, any last minute thoughts, maybe it's gratitude. I've been writing my prayers in my journal at night, which is really powerful. When I finish with that, I will pick up my Kindle. I will put it in the dark mode. I will turn off all the lights in my bedroom, and I'll read until about 8:30. 8:30, I put the Kindle down, I take my headphones off, and I climb into bed. And I'm usually asleep in about 5 minutes after I crawl into bed. It's really important you have a shutdown routine. If you got kids, they need to have a shutdown routine, especially if they're on the iPad, if they're on the laptop, if they're playing games, if they're watching television. You need to have a buffer time where you turn off screens and you just relax. Let your body settle down. It's really important. A lot of people have come to me saying that they are exhausted because they're not sleeping well. And when I ask them what their evenings look like, they go, and then they try to go to sleep, and they may fall right asleep, but then they're tossing and turning because they didn't have a proper shutdown. So again, schedule your time by energy, not just hours. And if you're not feeling it, it's okay to delay it. Number 2, set tech guardrails. If you have a family, you have a spouse, and you have kids, encourage them to set tech guardrails. I went to school in the 70s and 80s. We didn't have cell phones. I made it. You don't always need to be tethered to the world. You can take a break. You don't need to respond to that text message. You don't need to get on that Zoom call. It's okay to say no. They're called boundaries. And number 3, create a shutdown ritual that will work for you. Okay, here's your homework assignment for this episode. I want you to audit the 3 rules for boundaries I just shared with you. Schedule by energy, not just hours. Set tech guardrails and create a shutdown ritual. Please, if you're not doing any of these, don't try to do all 3 of them at once. It will not end well. Pick one and then ask yourself, do I even schedule by energy and not just hours? Do I have any tech guardrails? Do I even have a shutdown ritual? And then if the answer is no to all 3, then pick one. If you have 2, but not the one, then work on that one. If you're weak in all 3, again, pick one. But don't procrastinate. Don't go to your favorite AI and do all these, should I do this? Should I do this? Just pick one. We're not talking about the end of the world here. We're talking about establishing boundaries for you. If you do this, I promise you, your 2025, your 2026, and beyond are going to be much happier, healthier, exciting, and a lot less stress. Now, I'd love to know what you think about this. So you can find me on X. You can find me on LinkedIn as Mark Struczewski. Mark Struczewski. You can look up MarkStruczewski, or you can find me on Instagram at Mr. Productivity. Remember, Mr. is all spelled out, M-I-S-T-E-R, Mr. Productivity. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the Mr. Productivity Podcast. Hey, did you love this episode on hybrid work? Well, please do me a favor. Subscribe to this podcast on whatever podcast player you're listening to this on. That'll tell the algorithm to share this with other people. And then if you really want to share some podcast love, drop me a review. That'll help others level up as well. And don't forget to head on over to my website, MrProductivity.com, M-I-S-T-E-R, MrProductivity.com for more resources, and sign up for my free daily newsletter, The Productive Life. It's my gift to you. Through the Productive Life newsletter, I'm going to help you become more efficient and keep pushing forward. Until our next episode, my friend, keep bouncing forward.